just what game do you think you've been playing at this time, milady?
I haven't been playing at no game.
Not so as you'd notice.
Shall I go see at the door?
You just stay where you are.
Come on now. And before you start, I'm having no prevaricating. Just what have you been up to?
My dad knows.
Yes, and I don't, so let's be having it.
Haven't you seen tonight's paper, Auntie Alice? I was kidnapped by some gypsies.
You can cut the cheek out before you start.
I don't even know, but you're coming in the
I'm sorry, love, I didn't mean to be short with you. I was just a bit het up, you know.
Mrs. Burgess. So, I'm to blame, but I didn't know.
Excuse my ignorance, but didn't know what?
Well, you see, Lucille come in the shop on her way from school, and I've been a bit on the quiet side and done a bit of baking. Well, she looked a bit down, so I asked her to have a bite of tea.
There's a perfectly good tea sitting there waiting for us, still on the table. Why didn't you come home and ask me?
I didn't think about it.
Didn't you?
Well, I did, but...
You see, that's another fib I've found you out in, Lucille Hewitt. That makes 3 today.
8.
I've taken just about as much as I can stand.
It's all my fault. I feel terrible. Mrs. Linda gave me a smashing tea
And don't
anyway.
change the subject.
I didn't know how I was doing.
I don't suppose you realise the trouble you've caused. You don't care how much you put people out, do you? And don't start pulling faces at me. Cut it out, madam. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's dumb insolence.
Not much you can stand, is there?
Hey, I've told you once, Lucy. I'm not going to tell you again. Just you popping up when grown-ups are talking about you. You've caused enough damage for one day.
I wish I could say something. I'm sorry.
Oh, these things happen. But they wouldn't if people thought a bit before they went rushing into things.
Well, I've told you I did it with the best of intentions.
You know what they say about the best of intentions, don't you?
I don't think that's very nice.
I don't know that it was meant to be.
Oh, well, so long as we know.
Sorry, look.
I've no quarrel with you, Harry.
I shouldn't think you've cause for quarrel with anybody.
Good night, Harry. Good night, Lucille, love.
Hey, Florrie. I hope you're satisfied.
What do you mean? Dad, what do you
get
mean?
off.
Well, all I did was to go and have my tea out without staying.
That's all you think you've done, is it?
Oh, yeah, what else have I done?
You've caused bother between grown-ups, that's what you've done. And as your daddy says, all I just hope is you're satisfied.
Dad?
No, it's no good, Lucille. It won't work this time. You've been very naughty, you know that, don't you?
No.
Well, you should.
It's not fair.
Oh, I wish I had as many sixpences for the times I've heard that from you these past few weeks.
Well, it's not. I get blamed for everything.
If you go
around
into
here.
Derrick's, I'll put your head on
I
the
bet
cold
there was
water.
murders
I will.
committed
I mean
by
it.
me. Yes, and you'd like that, wouldn't you? That'll be you all over. Well, let me tell you
You're
something.
telling nobody nothing. You're going straight up to bed.
It's nowhere near my bedtime.
I said bed. Go.
Well, that was a nice little exhibition, wasn't it? She can't go on like this, you know. Harry, have you ever thought about one of those child guidance clinics? I've heard they can work...
Oh, for goodness sake, Alice.
For goodness sake, what? Obviously, something's got to be done.
Oh, we don't need a clinic to tell us what's wrong with Lucille. Well, do we?
There we are. I've never had a roller set before. Well, keep your fingers crossed and this should turn out smashing. What with my hair? Seemed better on 4-penny bacon. Well, natural blonde never does look much. I wish you'd let me give it a rinse for you. Why? Oh, not much. Just take the colour up a bit. Oh, my dad would go mad and tear his shirt. Well, that's not that bit in anyway. Why would he? Oh, you know him. Hey, how long's the setting lotion going to take to dry? Well, it won't dry if you do that. Anyway, I've only given it a lick and a spit. Give it 10 minutes, and if it's not stiff, I'll put gas oven on. Hey, what frock are you wearing tonight? Oh, my new gingham that I got from market. Why, what are you wearing? This? Oh. Yeah, I know, it's a bit out of the arc, isn't it? Well, it's very ladylike, Jean. Yeah, that's 3/4 of its trouble. Whatever made you get it? Oh, I didn't have any say. My mother just come in with it in a carrier one Saturday. Said that's 2.17.11 you owe me. Hey, I tell you what, you could borrow my nasturtium one if you wanted. Oh, no. I'd be scared something might happen to it. Anyway, I couldn't go home minute after, could I? Well, what the eye doesn't see, the heart won't grieve over. You could always come here and change any road. Oh, no, that'd mean you'd have to come out of the dance. Well, you don't want to spend the rest of the night with pass-out stamped on the back of your hand in blue copy ink, do you? Well, why would you have to come out? Got to be in by 10:30. Oh, no, Jean, don't say you didn't stand up to him again. Well, I didn't like to. Anyway, it wouldn't have done any good. My father had an upset stomach. Well, you never do. Stand up for yourself. I know. Perhaps that's how I'm built. Hey, look, what'd happen if you stayed till the end? Oh, they'd ever go mad. I know, but what'd they actually do? Well, I'd get a telling off. Well, that wouldn't kill you, would it? You know, sometimes I could slaughter me cousin Eunice. Honestly, if I could get my hands on her, I'd spifflicate her.
Eh?
Oh, it's all her fault. Well, what's your cousin Eunice got to do with you stopping after good-night ladies? Well, you see, it's like this. She was a bit of a stop-out.
And?
Oh, I don't like to say. When my grandma Salter said she'd rather been dead than go to the wedding, she didn't neither. But we know for a fact that she watched it from a friend of hers' bedroom window over the dry cleaners opposite the registry office. Well, I still don't see what all this has got to do with you. Well, they're scared I might break out. Do you want to borrow some of this silver stuff? Oh, no, too much round my eyes doesn't suit me. I think I've got enough with this black stuff on. Aye, all right. Well, I'll go and get you that dress. It's hanging from a picture rail in the back. Oh, go on, help yourself. I told you you could. Hey, look, what do you think? Ooh, belting. Just smear it up a bit in corners, though. This might be a bit big for you, but if it is, you can always let your imp belt, can't you? Come on, take your dress off. Unzip me. Right. Hey, Jo always wear best. Oh, it's me mother. She says they give you just that bit extra warm. I know. My mother would never let me have her hair cut. She said it reminded her of down in Derby, whoever she was when she was at home. Mind your rollers. Oh, that's all right. There you are. Hey, that'll look smashing. Looks better on you than it does on me. Oh, yes, but how am I going to get it back to you after? Well, I'll pop out and let you come in here, or you can borrow my key and road. We'll fix it somehow. You know, when you think about it, half the girls in my class at school are married with kids. Well, they are, aren't they? Yeah. What time does this dance come out? Oh, 11:30. Then I'm staying while they end of it and they can do what they like about it.
Ooh, smells a bit musty in here.
Oh, well, you see, this here select room doesn't get used all that much.
No, and it won't. You know what, like, but while you keep it a penny a pint extra. Ooh, look at the cigarette burns on here. Some people have no respect for other folks' property. Oh, I had a beautiful one. I kept it superb. Piano should have come to our house one day, placed his hand on me upright, and he said, Mrs. Sharples, Mrs. Sharples, he said, never have I felt such a patting. Where's the rest of the picnic committee, then?
Well, there's only Harry Hewitt missing.
When people take on public responsibilities, they should learn to be punctual. As the sole representative of the ladies' snug, I vote we get going.
Just going to give the fire a poke.
Well, I'm afraid that's all you'll be allowed to do. We are in committee.
Charlie. Here, have one yourself out of what's left.
Oh, it'll be me first today. Won't be a minute. Are you feeling off colour?
No, I'm brown off them. Honestly, Conceptor, I'm at my wit's end.
Your sister Lucille?
Aye.
What are you going to do?
Don't know what I can do between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Oh, I know what it can be like with children.
You used to kids.
I should be. I was brought up with them round me all my life. And you can take it from me, Harry, there isn't one bit of harm in that little child of yours, not one bit.
Ah, no, she's an affectionate thing, you know. No, Alice isn't like that. She never has been, you know. I'm saying nothing against her, but well, she's cold, if you know what I mean.
Of course I do, and it's nothing against her. Some people are just made that way. Excuse me,
A brown Conceptor, love.
Oh.
Sooner you get in there, the better.
Oh, right.
I call it the Blackpool Committee, Mr. Walker, because that's how me and my snug ladies think of it.
Well, the actual place will have to be put to the vote.
Oh, yes, after we've all stated our cases. Oh, there are times when I wish I had the gift of tongues.
One brown ale is requested.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Nay, now have that one with me.
Now, there's a very ugly word for what you're trying to do with me. No, Mrs. Walker, that's right.
Come on, love, sit down, take your weight off your feet.
I object. She's no right to be in here. No offence meant, but it isn't even as though the licence was in your name,
Now
is it?
then, Ina.
Mrs. Sharples.
Look, we need an impartial chairman. Come on, sit down, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you.
All right, then?
Oh, don't mind me. Nobody takes any notice of what I say. But I'm telling you this, if she's fit to vote, I go straight through to the cosy snug and inform my ladies.
Where are we going this year? That's all I want to know.
Well, you might ask, Mrs. Walker. Well, you might ask.
Well, last year we went to Llandudno.
Aye, and it rained from beginning to end. Don't you bring that story to me. I'll never forget that day if I live to be 100. It was the longest day of my life. And I don't like telling tales out of school, but there were some people whom that day affected. When the shadow was going past Warrington Bass, it was fogged up like an engine shed, and my poor friend Minnie Caldwell, she cried. Strike blue murder she did, though you couldn't hear her much for them tanners singing chickadee chick, cha-la, cha-la. But she did manage to whisper. Ina, she said, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I do hope they get me home before rigor mortis sets me. I would like to be laid out decent.
Fancy. All right then, London does seem rather a long way out. Where does anyone suggest for this year?
The Blackpool. Well, I'm easy.
Well then, the only thing to do is to put it to the vote, isn't it? I must say the lakes do seem an awful long traipse out to me.
Just a minute, just a minute. 2 males and 1 female. Oh, no, I think Mrs. Walker ought to have a vote. Come on, now, I've got your vote. You put your hands up for Blackpool.
Yes, but should I
Oh,
vote?
Mrs. Pankhurst ought to be turning in her grave. Now then for Blackpool. Ooh. The lakes. It'll be quite in order if you abstain from voting.
Well, I did say I was easy.
Oh, well, that settles it. Blackpool it is.
We're not very chatty this morning, are we, Aunt Ellie? Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Oh.
People whose feelings have been hurt don't make much conversation, Lucille. That's something you'll learn as you grow older.
That bacon was lovely.
I'm glad something was right for a change.
Have we got an old cocoa tin?
We have not.
Well, I've got to have one.
Well, as we haven't got one, I'm afraid you're going to be unlucky.
There's one in the cupboard.
It just so happens it's got cocoa in.
What do you want for and one for, anyway?
It's Anwood this afternoon. We're making spill boxes. I have to have some wallpaper too.
Don't they give you anything at that school?
You can bring it home afterwards. Hey, can I have some of that was left over from the bedroom? I don't know what I'm going to do about the cocoa tin, though.
How do I?
Anyway, I'll go and get that flowered paper.
Anything for a quiet life, huh?
There'll be no peace until she gets it. Anyway, I remember what it was like when I went to school. If you didn't have the same as the others, you felt neglected.
Well, it's a funny thing. I can hardly even remember going to school.
I'm not surprised you didn't. You had the biggest record of playing wag for anybody for miles around. The school board was never off our step.
Oh, there's one thing I can remember. That's every time I moved up a standard, the teacher used to say, well, I hope you're going to be as good as your Alice was when she was in my class.
Oh, get away with you. To hear you talk, anyone would think I'd been a proper little teacher's pet.
I've got this much. Is that all right?
What did you need all that for?
Well, I said I'd take some for Cheryl Probert. Can I have 4?
What for?
We've got to have half a yard of border as well.
Gee, I don't know. Yeah. Sit down.
Ta.
Hey, don't forget your cocoa tin.
I'll get one from Florrie Lenny at corner.
She didn't mean any harm.
I know she didn't.
Well, I'd best be making tracks then.
Yes, I must get a move on, too. I've got the bedrooms to do before I go out.
Yeah. Oh, you going out?
Well, I just thought I'd have a look round town.
Oh, well, here. Take this one.
What's that for?
Oh, what do you think it's for? It's for you.
Oh, go away. You don't owe me anything.
Go on, take it if you're going to town. Buy yourself. Treat yourself to something.
Look, there's plenty of things you want for yourself without handing money out to all and sundry.
Suit yourself.
Don't think I'm ungrateful, Harry. But if I do see anything I fancy, I'm not short of a bob or two, you know.
You're a rum. All right, see you tonight, then.
All right, love.
Another minute it had been in the bin. Thanks very much. Tram, Mrs. Lucille. Oh, Lucille. Hello, Lucille. Mind crossing over? Your Francis come in yet? Yes, just been.
Can I have half a dozen and can you put them in a box because I've got to take them to work?
The dance last night.
Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, it wasn't bad. Some new faces there for a change, and you're right.
Oh, did you click?
Me and Jean got pally with 2 lads. The bastards out on Whit Monday.
Oh, nice. Dancing?
No, Southport.
Oh, that'll be nice.
That'll be 2 bob.
Oh, there you are.
Thanks.
Right, thanks.
Trot, tobacco steam.
Oh, you're up then. I don't know how you kids keep it up. Out on the pavement at 3 o'clock in the morning and shopping for fancies at 9. If I don't get my full 8 hours, I feel as though I'm waking up as I've been eating flop beds. And it wasn't as if that plumber friend of yours was jazzing with you neither.
And what do you mean by jazzing?
Oh, canoodling, carrying on, singing a song about a portrait of my love. By the way, where is that gormless plumber of yours? Has he given you the chuck?
No, he's run off with a black woman.
Oh, I see. So he has chucked you. Oh, well, you don't seem to be breaking your heart over it. Are you going to Southport on Monday?
How do you know about that?
Well, if you keep a lady awake, a lady has a right to listen. Well, all I can say is, if you're thinking of leading one of them down the aisle, you'll take some advice from one who knows. Man is an animal, and woman has to minister to his every needs. But she needs to keep an air of mystery about her. I'll take 2 balm cakes and a packet of custard powder.
I don't know what you're looking at those pictures of Ambleside for. It's all settled. We're going to Blackpool.
Yeah, we're only looking.
Yes, I know you're looking, but what's the point of it? It doesn't seem to matter to me, to matter where you go.
Hey, how do you mean?
How do I mean? Well, the minute we get anywhere, the minute the coach gets there, you and your friends get in the nearest public house, and we only see your faces at mealtimes. But I'll tell you this, it's not going to happen this year.
Nay, now, you know I always ask you if you want to come with us.
Like I don't want to spend the day in a smoky public house.
Well, you do here.
I know I do here. Well, all the more reason for wanting a change. I'll tell you this, you can tell those boozy friends of yours that this year you're going to show your wife a little more consideration.
Yes, love.
And you needn't say it as though somebody stuck a knife in your back. Go on, the postman. Concepta? If you're going out, love, will you get some bacon for me? Thank you.
Three flaming guineas worth, I ask you.
Beg your pardon?
The tickets for the victuallers just arrived.
Oh, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not a patch on last year's, are they?
Oh, a hell of a lot dearer.
Oh, yes, but last year's tickets looked like a classy occasion. Do you remember? Dusty pink with gold pump handles embossed.
Well, I'm getting Concepta to take me navy blue suit to the cleaners. Will you be wanting to have your dance floor cleaned too?
That suit of yours doesn't want cleaning.
Well, anyway, I'll get them to give it a special offer sponge and press.
What for?
Why, for the dance, of course.
If by the dance you mean the victualler's ball, you're going in no blue suit. Not with me, you're not anyway.
Well, I did last time.
Aye, I know you did. And what happened when the photographer came to take the group? I'll tell you what happened. We were shoved away right at the back in a corner. You could hardly see me for Mrs. Laidlaw of the Lamb and Flags corsage, all because you weren't wearing evening dress.
Well, you can read for yourself. See, there it is at the bottom. Evening dress optional.
Jack, I know it says it, but it doesn't mean it.
Well, I'll tell you straight. I'm not going done up like Hambone in white tie and tails.
All the occasion calls for is a dinner suit, a nice white shirt and a dicky bow tie.
Now, where am I going to find a tailor to fit me up at such short notice? Now, I can't get one off the peg, you know that well enough.
No, but you can hire one.
I shouldn't know where to begin to start.
You'll find the brochure in the drawer of my dressing table, and I want some money from you.
What for this time?
My evening dress.
Well, you've already got one.
Oh, yes, I've already got one. And everybody there has already seen it twice. I suppose you do mean my ballerina, don't you?
Ah, that mauve thing with the Jim Jams
Now,
on
well,
it.
that mauve thing, as you call it, happens to be electric blue. It's got a halter top, and halter tops is out.
Me done up gutless. You in your new glad rags. How you it'll want paying for waiting on behind bar. 3 blooming guineas worth here. I don't know where it's going to end.
It's going to end with you and me coming home in a taxi after a perfectly delightful evening.
Ah, and that'll be another pound down the drain.
Has my dad come home yet?
No.
Oh.
Let me see your hands.
Can I show you them one at a time?
Your hands? Why?
It's a surprise.
Go on, then.
There you are, there's one.
The other one.
There's the other.
Very nice and clean indeed. That's a good girl. You know, clean fingernails are one of the things that people judge you on. Those and clean shoes.
Do you want a present?
What sort of a present?
Shut your eyes. There you are.
Whatever is it?
Miss Builder, 8 out of 10. That'll look nice on your dressing table. Wait a minute. I was going to put these in, but I forgot.
It's lovely. Thank you.
You're not so bad, Auntie Alice, really. Sometimes I think you are, but you know.
Oh, get away with you. Go on, up the airy mountains.
Hey, if my dad comes in before I drop off, will you tell him to come and tuck me in?
All right.
Night, God bless.
Good night.
No, you've got to say night, God bless.
Night, God bless, then.
Don't forget to tell me, Dad.
Of course I won't.
Oh,
Oh, we were just about to send the dogs out after you.
oh, sorry, look, one of the lads kept me talking.
In the Rover's return.
You say anything about the Rovers?
I did. I can smell your breath from here. It's not good enough, Harry. I go to the trouble to get you cooked tea, and what happens? You can't be bothered to come home and eat it. I sometimes wonder you don't have your bed sent down to the Rover's return.
What is for tea, anyway?
Liver.
Yeah, that'll make a nice change.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I only had it just the twice last week, that's all.
Oh, no, you didn't. Once. Last Thursday's was kidney. Anyway, your tea's frizzing away in the oven between two plates. You can take it or leave it. I'm sure I'm not going down on my bended knees to make sure you get something hot inside you.
Alice.
Yeah?
I've been thinking things over.
Oh?
I've come to the conclusion there'll have to be one or two changes made round here.
So have I. I'm going.
You what?
I said I'm going.
Well, I didn't mean the changes to be as drastic as that.
Oh, didn't you? It's no good, Harry. It's no use at all. The arrangement doesn't work. We've tried it and it doesn't. And all I can say is, I'm sorry.
Well, where are you going?
Oh, there's no need to worry about me. I'm quite capable of taking care of myself.
And of course I worry about you.
Well, you can stop before you start. It's all settled. I had an interview today.
Who with?
I answered an advert. I'm going housekeeping just near where I was before. As soon as he saw me, he recognised me and just waved me references away to one side. I must say, I don't remember this, but apparently he'd seen me serve at table at Rose Bank, and that was quite good enough for him.
Aye, well, that's as it may be. How'd you know he's all right? There's some very odd people knocking about these days, you know.
I think I can be trusted to recognise a gentleman when I see one, Harry.
All right, all right. When does he want you to start?
Tomorrow.
Was he all right when you said you couldn't?
I didn't say I couldn't.
Now, just a minute, Alice. Let's get this straight. You have got one or two responsibilities round here, you know.
Have I?
You can't just go without so much as a buy your leave.
I'm afraid that's just what I'm going to do. And anyone who knew the half of it wouldn't blame me. I've never been made to feel more unwelcome anywhere. Never in my whole life.
That's not true. You might have convinced yourself it is, but it isn't. And what about Lucille?
You manage.
Now, look, I wouldn't have taken her out of that place except for you. You know that, don't you?
Yes, I know, but...
But what? What am I going to say? Will Auntie Alice have done us dirt and send her back?
You must do what you think best.
I'm downright disgusted with you, Alice. Take. That's you all over, isn't it? It always has been. You give yourself airs. You put it on. You think you're quite the lady, don't you? Well, I'll tell you what you are. You're nothing but... Oh, go. Go now. I'll help you pack your bag if you like.
Dad! Dad!
Whatever's the matter now?
You know what the matter is. Just you get out of here before I hit you.
What's going on?
I heard you. Time's go. Can I get out of my room, Dad?
Go on, Chuck.
I wouldn't care, but I even give him a soda, and it was really meant for you. Dad, will I have to go back?